This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.
Okay, good morning everyone. Shalom Aleichem, Bruchim Haba. We're continuing in Mishna Berura, Daf Hashavua. We're learning Siman Lamed Tes Seif Vav. Siman Lamed Tes Seif Vav. Nimtzu biyad eina Yehudi. V'eni yadua miksavan ksherim. We just learned that anyone who is puzzle to write, anyone who is not bechlal ukshartam, is not bechlal uchsavtam, and therefore a goy or even a mumar cannot write tefillin. Furthermore, tefillin written by an apikoros, the mechaber holds you have to burn it. If it's found in the hands of an apikoros, you bury it. So what if it's found in the hands of a guy? So if it's found in the hand of a guy, in all likelihood, the guy didn't write the tefillin. Tony is not writing the tefillin. You know, what's the likelihood that Tony wrote the tefillin? In other words, if you find it in the hands of a guy, if you know the guy wrote it, obviously it's possible, but you don't know who wrote it. And it's kosher. Why? The stam of the gilulim ein bekian lichtayv. Stam goyim are not proficient in writing. Ubevada yisrael ksavay. For sure, a Jew wrote it. The Ksav Sofer writes in a tshuva, the Dershu quotes, you could even make a bracha on it. Especially in our locations where it's known that goyim don't know how to write tefillin. Afilu b'sefer Torah shenimtza biyadam masik hashach de l'kol yamak shera de ta'linon de ha'inam yehudim bazazu esam. We hinge it that some Gentile plundered it. So here's a question. How could this be kosher? We just said in Sif Hey, in Sif Dalet, if it was written by an apikoros, you have to burn it. If it's found in the hand of an apikoros, you bury it. So if it's found in the hand of a guy, is there not a possibility that a apikoros wrote it? It seems like it's very unlikely possibility, and it seems like we follow the Rov that probably a Jew wrote it. Okay, Sif Zayin. Ein loikhin tefillin mezuzah min akusim yosem echdei demehem harbe k'dei shalaharga laganvan ulagazlan. We do not purchase tefillin mezuzah svarim from goyim, from kusim, more than their value. You might say, you want to redeem it. You want to. Very often, somebody once came to show me a whole bag of svarim that he bought in Manhattan, on the street. So the guy probably stole it. So if you're going to overpay, you're just going to, just like we say, so also ein loikchenes hasfarim yaser mikdei dameim, in order not to encourage the goyim to steal. Says the Mishna Berura yoser, aval b'ma'ad yoser mishavyan, a bit more than the market value. Dahainu ad kedei chatzi dinar b'tefillin, like a half a dinar by tefillin. That you do have to spend. Even though you're going to have to bury it, you're obligated to purchase even a little bit more than their value, in order to bury it, so that the Gentile does not come to be mezalzel in it. In the Dirshu they bring, what about giving a guy a gift as a mezuzah to put up on his house? The guy says, I'm afraid of the demons in my house. Or the guy says, I'm afraid of, the Halloween, he needs protection. He wants a mezuzah. Are you allowed to give a guy a mezuzah? So the Ramah writes in Yardea Siman Reich Sadi Aleph, Sif Beis, the Dirshu quotes that it's asar. But if there's a chashash misham eva, it's permitted. Are you allowed to sell a Sefer Torah to a Gentile court in order for them to use to make Jews swear? The Maritz Chios says yes. The Maritz Chios in Chelek Aleph, Siman Lamed Beis, Shal Shejuz Maritz Chios, they're not buying it to learn. and there is a heter of Eva, so you're allowed to. Are you allowed to, if you're a Sefer, are you allowed to sell a Sefer Torah to a conservative shul? Are you allowed to sell a Sefer Torah to a conservative shul? Rav Moshe writes in Igros Moshe Yerdech Chelek Avsim Kuf Ayin Daled, there's no Isser Be'etzem, but if it's a new Sefer Torah, you should not be matter it. Rav Moshe says, only be matter if it's a brand new Sefer Torah, because if it was a Sefer Torah was already read from, you should be choishish, it's considered a Yerida that Oivrei Avera should utilize. Very interesting. So Rav Moshe says there's no Isser Be'etzem. In other words, if you're a Sefer, and you get the conservative shul calls you, so now's your chance to charge, $190,000 for the Sefer Torah maybe. But there's no Isser to sell it to them. But once it was already used, you should not downgrade it by selling it to those who are using it, who are considered Oivrei Avera. Okay, very interesting. Weiter. The Mishna Berura continues, Parsha, tu adinim heim psula machmas antzman. What if the guy, you're walking down the streets of Manhattan, some guy has a mezuzah, Sefer Torah, and again, you're obligated to buy it to get it out of their hands, but not to pay a lot more than their market value. But what if they're puzzle? It's pashat, says the Mishna Berura, even if they're puzzle, gam kin chayim liknas of the gum kedei laganzan to bury it. Aval b'ksavan epikoirus the tu'unin sreifa ein tzarich likach mehem, to buy it from an apikoirus. So now you need to burn it, so you do not have to buy it from them to save it from them. Okay. Sivkatan Yudches, Harbe. You don't pay a lot more. V'yafal pikein lo yisalik atzmei so take a mena av sha'omer Harbe. Says the Mishna Berura, you need to learn the art of negotiations. You need to know how to negotiate a good deal. Just because the guy says the mezuzah is $100, everybody knows that, you negotiate. You say, I'll pay 10 cents. 10 cents, it's worth $1 million. 10 cents. Okay, fine, $40. Nah, I'll pay 11 cents. 11, you have to know how to handle. You have to engage him. Maybe he'll come down to your price. But if he's going to be stubborn, leave it in his hands. Mavor b'shas, it is explained in Shas to Asr loimer lo'eved glum sheyitneim bezul yoser medai. Shas says when you're handling with goyim about stam, you're not allowed to say, really, I'll give you 3 cents, because you might get them really angry. So in other words, if you're out of the country and they want to sell you a watch for $150, so if you want to say 3 cents, then and get them upset, you're allowed to do that. But don't do that by stam, because they may come to be mezalzel in it. Okay, we're going for the double header, I see. So the second part of today will be short. We'll do Sif Ches and Tes. Okay.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.